Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in his gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. What you see here on the screen is this West African Jake, possibly from Nigeria, which those are nothing but Jakes. Which there are a lot of Nigerians here in America, okay, that live among Jake. And basically what this guy's describing is that he had to come over here to realize how bad that we've had it as men and just Israelites in general, that how this system has been totally unjust, has totally destroyed the children of Israel, man. And this Jake, he mentioned, and I'm gonna play the video. It's like what, 4 minutes long. And he basically was stating that how it took him to come here to find out that so-called blacks wasn't lazy and that they ain't lazy. Because I mean, you got a lot of Jakes that go out here and bust their ass day in, day out, week in and week out to make ends meet. But yet, according to the media, we're lazy, we're undereducated, we're uneducated. Our IQ is lower. Okay, we're devalued. We're game bangers, we're drug dealers. We fit all the mainstream narratives, which the media portrays us in a bad light to make it seem like we're just less than nothing. But when you go into the word media, it goes into medium, which means an intercessor, right? So, prime example, if you ever seen like a particular TV show, like look at what's this guy named Chris Angel, right? Which he's a sorcerer, a left-hand witch, right? Or if you look at like, remember that show Sylvia Brown back in the day? And my mother used to get caught up in that demonic ass shit. She watching this fraud by the name of Sylvia Brown. But see, she would go on a show and she would basically act like she's channeling the dead. She's the mediator between the dead and the living, right? And that she's the conduit that the spirits come through her and speak to reveal things, which is essentially a witch, all right? A medium. And what Esau does is that he portrays us in a bad light through his media to get to the people. So when people look at Jake, they already have a tainted perspective on our people, which in a lot of cases, our people are wicked. Okay, Jake is wicked. I'm not going to lie and say niggas ain't. But when you give these people the playing field, or you present or you create the circumstances for them to act in the behaviors that they do, this is the result of hood culture, thought culture, black culture, which black culture is nothing but death any goddamn way. Okay, but this is what they're portraying. I remember a long time ago, I was watching, because I got this movie called, and every brother have seen it. This is a fucking all-time classic. It's called Menace to Society. Now, when you go into the director's cut and they commentate, and I was listening to one of the interviews by, I believe it was MC8 and the guy that played Kane, which his name was Tyrant Turner, right? And basically, Edomites was coming up to him and said, damn, we didn't realize like how bad you guys had it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't understand that it was really like that for you Jakes, man. And people said that movie had them in tears. They was walking out because essentially Menace to Society is a very, very sad movie. It's a depressing movie. You know what I'm saying? From fucking beginning to end, it's nothing but Jake living out the curses, man. Okay, like the elder brother Kazaki Allah, he went into a lesson I caught briefly last night upon me going to bed, and he stated that he was going into one of the most grimiest neighborhoods. It was a bad neighborhood, of course, Jake, because Jake infests these metropolis like roaches, and basically he was breaking down on how it's a sign that says hello. But as he was coming into Jake's neighborhood, it just said hell, and he couldn't see the O on the end of the word, which was spiritual, because Jake, we are essentially in hell, man. Okay, we are literally in fucking hell here in Babylon the Great. And it shows, man. This is why Jake is in the condition that they're in. It's due to the curses. Hell ain't just hell is not an imaginary dimension that you go and you burn forever. That's not hell. Okay, hell is a condition played out on the earth due to the curses. Okay, and that's one concept of hell. The second concept of hell is the Hebrew word shawwal, which means the grave or the pit. Essentially, everybody goes there when they die. Your body goes to the grave, it decays, it becomes food for the worms, and the earth recycles your flesh, and there you go, you're back in the dirt, right? And then the ICBM nuclear fire, which is going to bring hellfire. Three concepts of hell, right? So this Jake is breaking that down, all right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play this video, and I'm going to get a couple of precepts to show you that, man, look, this is a real ordeal for our people, man. Okay? So here we go.
Americans are lazy. When I came to America newly, I used to think African Americans are lazy. They don't want to work and all that. You will never understand the struggle of African Americans until you live in the system for 5 years. Then you understand that being black in the system is already playing you 10-0, like you are 10 steps behind. The schools in black neighborhoods, they are all underfunded. The only thing you can find anywhere, everywhere in black neighborhood is liquor store. Keep drinking and keep yourselves busy. Now I understand why everybody's fighting so much to live in white neighborhood. Before I used to say they are not proud of their skin color.
And that's called systemic racism or systematic racism, however you want to pronounce it. With these schools being underfunded, you notice like in Jake's neighborhoods, property taxes are actually higher. And allegedly property taxes goes to fund the school. So if we're paying more in taxes than Edomites, why don't we have the accreditation that we need in our schools to educate our children, right? You see, but that goes back into systemic racism. And it also goes back into what they call redlining. In banks and so forth, they give you loans based on your demographic. And this is why when you go in to fill out an application for a loan, or whether it be car insurance or renter's insurance, you notice they ask you a plethora of questions regarding your demographic, because that way they're able to biasly put you into a caste system and it will give you a higher rate, man. I've done a study before. I've seen it. I remember when I applied for my first loan to get a vehicle years ago, and I didn't have any credit. So they say no credit is just as like having bad credit. You know what I'm saying? So you have to build credit in order for your score to go up. And that shit is wicked though, because and I'm gonna get back to it. I was looking at my credit report the other day, and my credit score dropped 13 points. 16 points. It boosted up 25 points over a course of time, and then it dropped 13 points. I'm like, I don't understand. Why the fuck did it drop 16 points? And I'm like, I haven't done anything. And then I called the rep. I'm like, this is inaccurate. I mean, my credit card payments come out every month, same time, on time. I pay my shit on time all the time. And she like, man, sometimes it depends on your credit utilization. I'm like, wait a minute. So if I'm utilizing credit, that boosts my score. But if I'm overly using it, then my score drops. But if I don't use it enough, my score drops. I'm like, this is some bullshit. But I was like, I broke it down to her. And when I was breaking it down to her, how they kind of, how can I say it? How they label or how they target Jake in these fraudulent systems. She basically didn't disagree with me, but she was like, I can't really say anything about it because, I work for these people. But she knew where I was getting at. And I'm like, yeah, this shit is biased as all hell, because I'm like, if I'm not using the credit, I'm like, I thought the point of having it is to use it when I need it. And if I overuse it, you fuckers drop my score. But then if I don't use it, you drop it. And then I was like, the thing that stood out, it don't drop 1 point. It don't drop 2 points. My shit have dropped 10, 15 points. Then it may go up 5, 6 points. Then it'll drop 20 points. Then it go up 10 points. Totally fucking wicked, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how this wicked system go, because they know who Jake, they know who we are, man. And it's all designed to keep Jake at the bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to this video. Let me get a preset real quick. I don't want to rant too much, you know what I'm saying, because I get to talking and stuff. But this is the book of Deuteronomy 28, and I'm gonna start at verses 15, because it all goes back to the curses at the end of the day. And also you have to understand too that the curses. So I'm gonna read this in the New Living Testament, which says curses for disobedience. And it says here, but if you refuse to listen to Yahweh your power and do not obey all the commands and decrees that I'm giving you today, all these curses will come and overwhelm you. And it says, and your towns and your fields will be cursed. And you go to the hood, It's cursed, man. Okay, like, I was rapping with a Jake on a comment board yesterday, about, him growing up on the west side of the Chi in Chicago, and I could very well agree because, I'm from Chicago, so I know how it is all too well. Me and Jake was rapping, and he was like, look, man, out here, out west, it ain't nothing but poo shiesties, stick up, all types of shit, bro. Like, it's, and that's real talk. I remember, getting into scuffles with niggas all because of certain color or your hat that you wear. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets real like that. You can end up dead in the hood, man. And this is why we tell Jake going out there, y'all GMS niggas don't never go to the hood. Well, we ain't got to go to the hood, man. Because the hood gonna come to your ass regardless. But it ain't a wise thing to prophesy in the hood, man. Like Yahweh Shai say, what good thing could come out of Nazareth, right? So, nah, man, we ain't prophesying in the hood. We go to the cheap place of concourse. It's fucking dangerous out there. We gonna prophesy to a bunch of ninjas that don't want to do right anyway? Hell no, man. And it says here, your towns and your fields will be cursed, and your fruit baskets and breadboards will be cursed. Yeah. Jake, government cheese, the big block of cheese. You waiting on your family to get the first of the month food stamps. I remember when we came up, we had they had what they call food stamp books. You had it'd have like $1 coupon that was brown. I think the 5 was probably green, and I think you got a 10 that was blue, and I think you had like a 20. Like, I remember those days, and we didn't really understand what it was. We just thought it was just like money, like we didn't know. But I remember we was getting sent to the store, and we have like a book of coupons. It had coupons on it, and I have the money on it, and then we'll go to the store and get what we need to get and realize there wasn't no tax added. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what kept us fed all the time. You see, but that goes back to the curses because Jake was really on that welfare, man. Now it takes you to get older to understand what it is. But we really lived like that for some time, man, because, hey, shit, Jake we're casted out. It's part of the curses. And it says, and your fruit baskets and breadboards will be cursed, and your children and your crops will be cursed. Like these little YNs out here. Okay, these little ninjas is wicked as all hell. I remember years ago, man, I was probably 18. I was like 18, maybe 19 years old. And it was late at night, and I was going to see my chick. At the time, she lived on the west side of Chicago. So I went out there, I'm driving and shit. So I come from the gas station, I go to the light. All of a sudden, this white van pull up on the side of me. Because I think it was a Regal, and it was a white van that pulled up behind the Regal. I turned my head quick, dude hopped out of the fucking van, ran up to the Regal. Guns out, boom, snatched dude out, put him in a van, drove off with him. Kidnapped his ass. And I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking like, damn, like this nigga just get kidnapped. And I'm just sitting there observing the whole thing, man. I'm like, wow, this had to be like 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing out at 2 o'clock in the morning? Well, what Jake was on. Jake was trying to get the kuba, but it says, and your offspring and your herbs and flocks will be cursed. And we don't have that. We don't have flocks. We don't have herb. We don't have like farms or anything like that. Unless you're like a down south Jake or you got farms. But even then, with all this government spending and them buying up the crops, I mean, farmers are getting priced out left and right. But it says, and wherever you go, whatever you do, you will be cursed. Okay, so everywhere we go in the planet Earth, even though, you got Jakes that go overseas and, they lighten the burden a little bit, at the end of the day, them curses kick in and then people start to ostracize you, man. All right, so let's play a little bit more of this.
They don't love who they are, but they're actually fighting for their children's future. Because being black in the system is already playing you 10-0. You are 10 steps behind. Is it you that is coming with underfunded certificates that want to be competing with somebody that is 10 steps ahead of you? Being black in the system is tough. When you get to America...
Yeah, now when you go into the word black means to be dead or devalue or dead to the law. Like when you go into the Black Laws Dictionary, the second edition, 1910, it breaks down. Matter of fact, I think, let me find that shit real quick. I may still have it here. I may have deleted it. I don't know. Yeah, I think I deleted it, but I did have it for a lesson. No, here you go. Black Laws Dictionary, right? Now, This is the 11th edition. But if you go to the second edition, which was published in 1910, it means dead entity, things that don't physically exist. So when they're calling you a so-called black person, that means that you're a dead entity, man. That means that you have no rights. This is why they're able to discriminate against you and do what they need to do with you, man, because for the simple fact you have no rights. Okay? Now, fast forward in here, it says, first, there exists no nation of black Americans, but yet they call you a black American, which is ultimately a byword. This is why the scriptures say we should be a byword and a proverb among the nations we were scattered abroad, all right? Because Jake call you black, African American, niggas, Negroes, colored, Africans. You know what I'm saying? These are the bywords that they put on us, and you stupid ninjas eat that up. Oh, I'm a black person. I'm a black person. To the point the spell is already working, man. Okay, I'm a so-called, we say so-called black because you're not black, man. Okay, like I got black covers on my bed. I have a black couch. I have a black TV. I got a black jujitsu dummy, a grappling dummy. You see what I'm saying? I have a black PlayStation controller. That's black. I'm not the fucking color of the black, man. But yet you stupid niggas, you would say, oh, I'm a black person. Okay, and this is why these devils on this. This is why they do what they do to you. This is why we tell you, man, coming back to your heritage as a Hebrew Israelite is most essential. But it says black Americans, nor there is a black America in any document record the world over. It says black Americans are what is referred to in law as a misnomer or collectively misnomers, which means a false representation of something, right? And it says here, as you well know, grammatically, black is an adjective and that is not a proper noun, okay? And a proper noun is usually in the form of a name, a proper noun, okay? So if they're calling you something black, okay, and that's not a proper noun, but a verb which represents an action, right? That means that that's not who you are. Okay, that's not who you are, man. And it says here, socially and politically, black implies silva mortis, which means dead. Okay, it said, which means dead in the eyes of the law. And this is why the cops can pull you over anytime they want to and throw drugs on you and you still go to prison for 15 years. Okay, so this is why we telling you, Jakes, to wake the hell up, man. Come back into your how about Shimi, how was shy. But yet you want to be black people. You want to be Puerto Rican people. You want to be Cuban people. You want to be Dominican. You want to be Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, Haitians, But it says black America is not a nationality, nor is it a nation. Therefore, black has no political powers or interests nor powers in the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings, which is why we tell you that you're 3/5 of a man. And on top of that, you have no rights. So this is why they're able to put child support on Jake, because Jake, you're a black person. You're black. OK, it's fucked up, but it's the curses, man. All right. So let's listen some more.
You have to understand, America is a system. The first day you enter in America, it's literally having someone on your shoulder saying this. Hey, you see this black American kid? He looks like you. He talks like you. He even has the same hair as you. Oh, but Charlie, he no be you. You see, look at him. He's shooting guns. He's wearing his pants this way. Oh, look at his hair. You're from Ghana, royal family, Ashanti culture. This is not you. And so the moment, as soon as you're at that airport, you disconnect. Oh, that's not me. So whatever you see him, he's suffering with, you talk from day one. Oh, that's not you. Don't let the color, fool you. That's not you. Now,
and let's put correction on that. Every so-called African person are not Israelites. Okay, there's a distinction. There's a separation, but you can clearly tell that this man is a Jake. Okay, you can feel the passion in his voice. You can hear it. Our people have a certain type of passion to them, man. This is how you able to determine Jake from the heathens, man. Our people have a soul, and you can tell he's a Jake. Like a lot of them Jakes that come over here for the Sudan. A lot of them be Jakes too, man. You know what I'm saying? They do. And then a lot of them be Hamites as well. But you don't feel a connection with the Hamites. But you among Jake from the Caribbean and from West Coast, Sierra Leone and Nigeria, hey, you kind of feel connected with them people, man. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately. So it says here, the Lord himself will send upon you cursing, confusion, and frustration in everything you do, until at last you are completely destroyed for doing evil and abandoning me. And ultimately, it goes back into us disobeying the Heavenly Father. This is why our women are out of order. This is why the children are out of order. This is why our neighborhoods are overrun with drugs and alcohol and, murder and killing and violence and all this other stuff, man. This is why, when Jake move in the neighborhood, the price of the homes go down. Okay, like you have a red line out here between something called Truce Avenue, which divides east from west. Now, when you go west of Truce and here in Kansas City, the property value goes up. Go east of Truce, it goes down. Same thing in Chicago. You have a street called you have Pulaski, which is far west. Then you have you have Cicero. Then you have Pulaski, which is far west. Then you have Western. Then you have Ashland. Okay. Then you have a street called Vincennes. Then you have Halsted. Then you have what they call State Line or State Avenue or State Street. Then Michigan. Then so forth. I want to say between Michigan and State and Halsted, there's a great divide there, which separates pretty much east from west. Anything past Ashland going west is considered west. So property value goes up the farther west you go. Okay, the farther east you go until you hit the lakefront and what do you call it? The South Shore, not South Shore, but South Shore neighborhood in Hyde Park, which is pretty much going to shit now. But even though it's still a relatively nice and expensive place to live, the property values are going down, man. All right, because niggas are moving all over the city now. This is why when you go into Edomite development and you see 2 or 3 black families that move out there, you notice Esau, he packs up and he goes because he knows the value is going to go down. Because Jake is going to bring the hood. They're going to bring weed. They're going to bring fucking baby mamas. They're going to bring all types of wicked culture, man. Loud music, drug dealing, gang banging, all types of shit. And this is what Jake do, okay, which goes back to the curses. And it says here, and the Lord would afflict you with diseases until none of you are left in the land and you're about to enter and occupy. Verse 22, it says the Lord will strike you with wasting, diseases, fever, and inflammation. This is why the black woman has the highest rate of diseases out there, man, the so-called black woman. Okay, when you go down in Houston and Atlanta and parts of Dallas, be careful on what you do, man, because them women, they're burning. Okay, they're giving out AIDS, like they're giving out like they handing out goddamn turkeys on Thanksgiving or something like that, man. It's getting real bad. But it says with scorching heat and drought and with blight and mildew, and these disasters will pursue you until you die. And the skies above will be as unyielding as bronze, and the earth beneath you will be as hard as iron, which goes into your condition. Okay, it says the Lord will change the rain that falls on your land into powder, and dust will pour down from the sky until you are destroyed. Yeah, fucking chemtrails and shit. Like, even though they chemtrail all over this country, I mean, everybody is acceptable to it. But sometimes in Jake neighborhoods, they're spraying extra heavy. Okay, because they do things by grid. Now, I remember years ago when I was out working on the E-way, the highway, they was doing the snow removal operations. And I noticed in the metro of Kansas City, it seems to be a blanket of smoke or cloud that was causing this storm to concentrate on one particular area in the city. And that was the hardest part of the city to clean up. And guess what? That was where Jake lived at. But you go way out, the storms wasn't as bad. But in the metropolis, where Jake was at, it was just like you barely can get around, man. I'm just like, this ain't no coincidence, because that's how Esau gets down. He's the devil, And it says here, and the Lord will cause you to be defeated by your enemies, and you will attack your enemies from one direction, but you will scatter from them in 7, and you will be an object of horror to all the kingdoms of the earth. Yeah, this is why when you go into different countries or when other cultures come here, this is why they meet you with diversity, man. Okay, like the Chinese person, the gook, can set up a shrimp fried rice spot right in your neighborhood, but yet you go and shop with him, he's looking at you like, what the hell? He's looking at you like a vermin. Okay, you worse than the fucking shrimp that he put in the damn rice, man. And that's just real talk. Like, they have a certain hatred for you Jakes, and you niggas are killing each other, man. But it says here, and I'm going to jump around a little bit. It says here, the Lord will strike you with madness, blindness, and panic. Niggas on edge, crash outs, all that. And it says, and you will grope around in broad daylight like a blind person going into the darkness, but you will not find your way, and you will be oppressed and robbed continually, and no one will come to save you. So all your leaders, all your Boule members like Martin Lucifer Coon, Jesse Jackass Jackson and Al Charlatan and W.E.B. Du Bois, all these men that they set up under the guisemanship of the civil rights and the NAACP, which was started by Small Hats, by the way, in 1906, I believe. They was not put in play to save you or to help you. In fact, they was set up to keep you away from the power, from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And this is the reason why you believe in black culture today. Okay, like the whole civil rights movement was nothing but a strategic plan to integrate you back under Esau's foot. Okay, because prior to the civil rights movement, like going back into the movie Harlem Nights, Jake was doing good being self-sufficient from this devil. Okay, this is why the cops was sick and the mob was sick and the cops. That nigga Bugsy Calhoun, he was like, how the hell are you fucking jigs doing 20 G's a night? He was pissed. Because Jake was bringing in more money at his nightclub than the fucking Italians was. And them Italians ain't nothing but niggas too. So that's real shit. And it says, and you will be engaged to a woman, but another man will sleep with her. Adultery is heavy in the Negro community, man. Okay, you look, adultery is next level among Jake. Okay, adultery, niggas commit adultery like fucking waking up in the morning. It's just natural to them. This is why we tell you brothers out there, hey, be careful with these women you deal with. You can't take them overly serious, man. Okay, don't take them too lightly either because they're wicked, but you can't take them all serious, bro. Like, you still at this point, you still losing sleep over women. Then, that's on you for real. I'm at the point in my life now that I'm not losing sleep on them. I don't give a fuck how good you claim you are. I'm not losing sleep over you at this point. We're too far in the end. But it says you will be engaged to a woman, but another man will sleep with her, and you will build a house and someone else will live in it, and you will plant vineyards, but you will never enjoy the fruit. Yeah, we built this shithole up, man. And that's pretty much what Jake was going into. All right. Now, let me play the rest of this video, then a couple more precepts, and we'll end it. I can be on this all day, but I need to cut it short. I got a meeting, actually, so.
Now, what you don't know is this. That same man that met you there has gone to that same black guy in America. Hey, Charlie, you see this African guy? He's not the same color hair as you. He has the same texture. I'm saying, but he's not you. Look at him. He's swinging on trees. Look at his stomach. He can't feed his people. Every negative thing about Africa, they will tell him. So he says, I'm not that neither. So the moment you land in America, you're like this. Separated. You are separated. The system is built for separation. To get a visa, you're automatically separated. Yep. 80% of African Americans, stop pretending, cannot afford to come to Africa. Wow. Really? I'm saying they cannot afford. They may want it in their heart, but America has them bootstrapped, tied. Because guess what? They have to pay mortgage every month. They have to pay their car note every month. They have to pay their insurance every month. They can't even watch DSTV unless they pay every month. Wow. So how are you going to have money to say, let me go back and learn about my family, my history, my roots when every month you have to worry about, I got to pay this. I got to pay. When do you get a break to think? Wow. But that's the system. This allows me to control you left, right, because you never have time to stop and say, oh, how do I work on this or where do I go from here? You don't have that time. When you live in America, most people, if they're being honest, on the first of the month, from the first to about the 20th, 25th of the month is when you finish paying your bills. Wow. Yep. Wow. You probably got about maybe 5 to 7 days in a month that you can actually think without thinking about paying the bill.
Yeah, hey, dude cooking. He's cooking, he's making excellent points. That's absolutely right. From the 1st to the 25th, you paying bills, man. And that's exactly right. Like I was looking at some videos, and I think with TikTok shut down, they had an app called Redfin or something. I think it's something called Red something. I can't recall the name. But they was telling you how, like, how in the news they make it like China economy is horrible and this China has a thriving economy and it's less cheaper. I heard that it costs like what, roughly $800 to go to fucking law school or some med school. I don't know, but the healthcare, everything is cheaper in China. And they was telling people like, yeah, come over to China, man. You'll be taken care of, even your medical expenses, you know. Versus here, you go to the doctor, emergency room visit is $3,500, man, and you have insurance that's supposed to cover that, but you still get hit with a bill. You know, like I went to a specialist not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? I was going to a ear, nose, and throat doctor. You know, just to check out everything, make sure everything is on point. And do you know that the consultation, and I got insurance, allegedly good insurance, right? The fucking bill was $140. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Why the fuck am I paying insurance for if y'all not gonna cover the fucking visit? You know? And I was just like, this is some bullshit. And people, to the point, they checked out. They're like, look, I don't give a fuck no more. This is why they popped that what's that guy named Brian Thompson from the United Healthcare? Like, they don't even talk about that no more. You know what I'm saying? Even though that was an inside job, we believe that the Pelosi's and everybody had something to do with that. But regardless of it, the average person, like, fuck this shit, man. We're done. You know? But anyway, going back to what he stated, it says here, a foreign nation that you have never heard about will eat the crops you worked so hard to grow, and you will suffer under constant oppression and harsh treatment. Yeah, he just broke it down, man. You know, the bills, you know, they're coming to set up sweatshops in your neighborhoods, man. They tax you to death. Hey, go to fucking Moab and buy a goddamn do-rag and say you 50 cents short. Moab will not let you slide with a penny. For real. Like, I remember it was years ago. I went to the store. I went to buy like, I think it may have been like a headscarf or something like that. And I think this shit was like $5. I had like $4 and some change, and I had like big bills. I didn't want to break it. I think I was like 2 pennies short. Do you know this fucking goop made me break a 20 just to give him the fucking 2 cents? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I could run to the car and get 2 pennies out of the damn glove department. It ain't really nothing, you know, but he's like, you break 20. I'm like, fuck it, here. You know what I'm saying? And there we go. They won't let you slide with a dime, man. And then the funny part about it is Jake will set up their business and they will price you out. You know, a nigga have a restaurant and he'll price you out $20 for 3 chicken wings, man. That's fried in some bullshit. You see? Full of sodium. You know, you getting ready to drop dead after you eat this nigga's meal. But yeah, he's charging you $1,700 for a fucking hamburger and 3 fucking fries on the side, man. Like, get the hell out of here, man. It's just like, you can't win here. This is why the Lord has to come back and destroy this place. Point blank, period. There's no compromising. There's no nothing. This place has to go. In order for us to really live and get the desires of our heart that the Lord promises, this place has to fucking go. Okay? Excuse my French. But I'm going to go down here a little bit. It says, you will plant much but little harvest, but harvest little, for the locusts will eat your crops, and you will plant vineyards and care for them, but you will not drink the wine or eat the grapes, for worms will destroy the vines. Let's go down here, 43. It says, the foreigners living among you will come stronger and stronger, but while you become weaker and weaker, and they will lend money to you, but you will not lend to them, and they will be the head and you will be the tail. And that's absolutely right, because they tag on what they call interest, usury. You know what I'm saying? Like, get a credit card, and let's just say if you have a 2% interest rate, after you pay the card every month and you pay the minimum payment, they will tax what they call interest on it, which is usury, which is wicked. Okay, everything in this kingdom, like, you're already taxed. Like, to be honest with you, should no American ever owe income taxes or anything like that, because you're already taxed before they take your money. They already pre-tax it. And then you're paying taxes on water. You're paying taxes on apartment. You're paying taxes on vehicles. You're paying taxes on food. You're paying taxes on clothes. You're paying taxes on games, shoes, whatever. Bananas, you paying taxes on every damn. You fucking pay a tax to walk outside, man. So how in the hell are you in debt with the IRS, man? Okay, that's wicked as all hell, but that's the way that this man run this system. All right, let's go here to Micah 2. The Micah 2 and 10, and I got one more precept in the Apocrypha and we end it. Let's go into King James Version. And it reads, it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword of destruction. And see, Jake, they get lackadaisical here. You see, they get comfortable. They get, to the point that they make a little money. Let's say if you got $110,000, $100,000 job a year. $125,000 job a year, right? Jake get comfortable off that because of what it sounds like. But out of that $125,000 you're allegedly making, you may only bring 70 bands home a year, if that, because the rest of it they tax you to death. So you would never see the full 125. How about that? But I guarantee you, Bezos and Zuckerberg and what's this guy's name, Elon Musk, that weird ass dude, man. I guarantee you, they gonna see every dime. Okay, they ain't paying a goddamn income tax, man. Yeah, right. That's for the poor. Taxes has always been to control the poor. Okay, the Romans broke that down to you. But it says, arise and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It should destroy you even with the sore destruction. Okay, this is not our rest. So you Jakes get caught up on, man, we got to get generational wealth. There's no generational wealth for you. Okay, you're getting ready to be priced out the job market in a minute. You're getting ready to lose your jobs to AI. And most of you women out there, you don't have any real skills. Okay, you may go to school to be a CNA or a traveling nurse, but they can replace you. Simple. They don't really need you for those jobs, man. Those are just throwaway jobs because they're becoming overly saturated. Everybody is getting in those markets. So eventually there's not going to be a high demand for a nurse no more because, I mean, everybody does the job. And on top of that, they have AI systems now that can tell people a diagnosis and a cure. And people can literally be cured by AI now, all right? So there's going to be a cut of jobs here in a minute. Okay, they said 41% of people are going to lose their jobs to artificial intelligence within a few short years. So we'll see how it go, but it's not looking too good for you people, man. All right, this is the book of Baruch 3, and I'm going to start at verses 8. It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for reproach and curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord thy power. Okay, so we're in captivity, point blank period. If you got a monthly mortgage, you have a car note, have child support, taxes, you are a slave, man. Okay, you are a slave, and that's just what it is. Okay, but the good news is this place is getting ready to be destroyed. And once this place goes, brothers, and we don't have to worry about ever being taxed or being unjustly dealt with anymore, man. All right, so just hold on, keep the faith, get down for your crown, man. Don't let nobody take your crown for you because we getting ready to rule forever. Okay, so with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Lord's will, you will edify. To the next lesson. Shalom.